Aside from YouTube, Instagram is one of my favorite places to interact with all of you. It's such a fun platform to create for and a great way to keep track of interests, big life changes, and memories. So today I'm sharing all the details on how I shoot and edit my Instagram content. Before we get into it, I want to say a thank you to Showcase for sponsoring today's video. Brave New World is a new show airing Sundays on Showcase. It's based on the Aldous Huxley 1932 novel and is set in a utopian society that relies on zero privacy, family, money, or monogamy to keep the world running peacefully. What a concept. But for now, let's dive in. Although the point of this video really is to show you how to practically create a beautiful Instagram feed, I do feel like it's important to preface this discussion by talking about the pressures there can be to meet this polished standard on social media. I myself, as a content creator, have definitely felt the pressure to put out perfectly edited content that has witty captions and is visually just like, ooh, ah, hard eyes. But my reality, my day-to-day life isn't that glamorous. I am most of the time either on my couch or in this office or on my kitchen island, working on my computer, doing boring computer stuff when I'm not filming. And whether you're a creator who's creating content for an audience or just someone who uses it personally, I feel like it's easy to get sucked into the trap of putting a lot of value in metrics like likes and follows. I've gotten sucked into that trap more often than I would like to admit, and that's evidenced by the fact that if a post doesn't do as well, it can sometimes bum you out a bit, or if a post does really well, it's like you feel that little boost. And I don't really welcome either of those feelings because both, whether it's a good or a bad one, is a really temporary feeling. And when I watched the trailer for Brave New World for the first time, that was like one of the first things I caught on to, this theme of instant gratification that is so prevalent in social media. You know, the show focuses on a utopian, perfect society that relies on people taking pills to feel this euphoric rush and ride a happiness wave. And in a way, I kind of feel that posting a new photo has a similar effect. You can feel like we're feeding this image of having a perfect life, and then there's like those first few, you know, moments or hours once a post goes live, you start seeing the likes and the comments come in, and that can feel really exciting. So although I'm by no means the first one to say this, I feel like it's a good reminder for you and for me that striving for perfectionism is never sustainable. It's not even sustainable in fictional worlds because a rebellion emerges and threatens to dismantle the whole system, but it's not sustainable in real life either if you're really trying to be your authentic self. As a side note though, if you want to find out more about Brave New World, you can watch it live on Showcase, Stack TV, and on the Global TV app. There'll be more information in the description box below. The point of all this is to say that I think the essence of a beautiful Instagram feed starts at posting what you genuinely want to post about, not what you think others want to see, because at the end of the day, like, your feed is about you. That's how you make it unique, is adding you to it, your personality. This is me sprinkling personality. We're not taking it too seriously. Before you can even take a photo, you have to figure out what you're taking a photo of. So for me, I asked myself a series of questions like, what am I enjoying right now? What am I spending my time on? Is there a big life change happening? I personally always like to look for those small moments. I remember a few weeks ago, I did a photo in front of my laundry rack just because I could think of nothing else but to do. But on that particular day, I was doing laundry. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm taking a selfie in front of my laundry now. Or I was at my desk a few days ago and posted my messy desk because usually I post these really polished photos of my workspace. And I wanted to show the reality of what a true work session looked like. And it doesn't always look Pinterest worthy or Instagram worthy. It sometimes looks a little chaotic. Even simple things like my coffee get featured in my Instagram stories all the time because I have so much love for caffeine and I want to show the love on my Instagram stories. There's always this assumption, whether it's with Instagram photos or even YouTube, that you need super fancy, expensive equipment to look professional. But honestly, for my Instagram feed, I think about 80% of my photos are taken with my phone's camera. The times where I feel most compelled to shoot a photo with my DSLR that you are currently seeing me filmed on right now, I will pull this out for photos when I'm not dealing with the most satisfactory lighting conditions, because obviously you can manipulate a lot more settings with the DSLR. If I wanted to take a picture right here, this is a perfect example of a situation where my my DSLR comes in handy because this area is not well lit. And I do quite enjoy a circle mirror selfie moment. I'm gonna change the settings here and get my ISO up. Just have my white balance set to automatic, and that looks pretty good to go. A much better situation than where we first started off. For most things, you're able to get by with a phone very well, and it's very convenient, hence the reason why I use my phone a lot. One of the pieces of equipment that I recently acquired that I would probably recommend as like the best photo taking tool in addition to your camera on your phone is a phone tripod. I haven't had a phone tripod ever, and I just got one a couple months ago. And it's such a game changer for taking photos around my apartment, especially because I take photos by myself. I feel like when people think of a beautiful Instagram feed, they think of, you know, that moment of going to someone's profile and just being mesmerized by all the beautiful images that work so well together. And for my feed, the way that I've achieved that is in two ways. One, by making sure that the photo itself has a lot of white contained in it. If you go on my Instagram feed, you'll notice that it's rare that a photo doesn't have the color white. So having a color that ties all your photos together can be a really powerful way to add cohesion. The second thing that I do is I use the same filter on all of my photos. I do everything on Lightroom because you can use presets, and presets are Lightroom's versions of filters. The difference with a Lightroom preset versus another app's just filter is usually when it comes to those photo editing apps, a lot of the edits that you can do to a filter is just how intense that filter is. But on Lightroom, there is so much customization you can do after a filter is applied. You can go in and adjust exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, obvious things, but you can also go into very specific colors. So one of the things that I always go into is the yellows. I will try and decrease those as much as I can, especially if I have whites in my photo, because whites tend to get yellow easily depending on the light source that you're using. Or I can enhance a color like green in my photo if I'm taking a photo of my plants, give them a little extra life with that saturation tool. Sometimes I use my own presets, sometimes I use others that I have acquired, whether I bought them or I've downloaded them online somewhere for free. Okay, so let's look at creating an Instagram story. How do I go about that? Well, right now, I'm very well lit. I'm on my phone right now, but if I were to do this, I'm suddenly less well lit. So I prefer to be in front of a nice light source like the window that I'm behind right now. And then I also sometimes have fun with filters. Like I could just film right now and it'd be good, you know, pores and all, it's all good. We all got them. There's also fun ones like this one. Well, this one's a little intense. This one I went through a little bit of a phase. It's a little bit, what is it called? Moody up, and you can lower it, you can intensify it. There's also retro dust, which kind of adds like this cool twinkly vibe. This one called diary, which if I just tap the screen, takes off the date and it creates again like this very like film-esque. You can see all the moving parts here that make it kind of look a little bit cooler. This one's one of my favorites. It's 1987 and I like how warm it is. It kind of matches my Instagram filter love on my feed because it's got the more warm tones. And then there's also normal me, which is also gorge, right? Right. I'm not giving you another option in that response. Thank you again to Showcase for sponsoring today's video. As mentioned before, Brave New World can be watched live Sundays on Showcase and can also be watched live on the Global TV app and Stack TV. Check out the link below for more details. I'd love to hear in the comments if you have ever felt pressured to post the perfect photo or be perfect based on something that you've seen on social media. I'm also curious to know what are your favorite photo editing apps. I'm always on the hunt for more. Like the video if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already, and I will see you all very soon with a new video. Until then, bye everyone.